Welcome to Hot Takes,
where we talk
about debatable topics.
Today's topic
is, can you teach athleticism?
Yes.
Right?
No.
John?
Do you think you have to be born with it?
Hold on. John, what's your standpoint?
Yes, for sure. No doubt about it.
I do not think that you can teach athleticism.
Look, I think you are a miles ahead if you are already athletic, very, very young age. But it can be taught. I've seen a lot of people that were not athletic.
Usain Bolt was not taught how to be fast. He was
Okay.
born.
No.
That is
You were going with the
athleticism.
extreme.
That is athleticism.
That is
You
so
can
ridiculous.
enhance athleticism, but you cannot teach someone
Which
who's
means-
not an athlete to be an athlete.
Right.
You can teach the fundamentals. You can teach the framework.
Yes.
You can teach the betterment of that.
Yes.
And they can be improved, but they're already an athlete. They're
No.
already bound to be an athlete.
No, because there are people out there that are not naturally gifted. So they would be thought of as not being athletic. They might have very minimal athleticism. But then they can, if they want to, it really does come down to the individual too, because if they're coachable and they want to do it, they can become athletic. Now, where they reach in their heights might not be as high as a fucking Usain Bolt. Come on, man. The fucking fastest guy ever lived.
You can. So, like, you have people that just can come in and pick up and be fantastic at it, right? They're already athletes. They already are born with that skill. It's raw skill, and then yes, it can be coached, it can be improved, but they already have that ability in them.
Okay.
So, hold on.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Hold on.
I got one for you after this.
At the end of the day, when you talk about athleticism, what are the factors that are related to the word athleticism? It is balance and coordination. You can practice and get better at that every single day. So, therefore, you are being a better athlete.
When I see someone jump fucking and moss the hell out of someone and have a huge vert, that's not taught. That is God-given, born.
ridiculous.
Oh, you're telling me?
So they didn't practice. They just randomly jumped 11 and a half fucking feet
Got
on a
nothing,
pole vault.
Kenny, on that one.
That was dumb. Right?
Yeah.
You can teach a vertical.
You can enhance that, but
But hey, Usain Bolt, he's no shit, he's the fastest person. in the world.
My argument is you are born with talent.
yes, I think you're born with
I
talent.
think
You can
that is-
improve talent if there's talent at the foundation, and talent is already in existence. You can improve on it, but if the talent is not there, I don't care how much you teach something to someone. You're going to be basically beating a dead horse, and it's not going to be able to be built into that person. I think there's some framework of talent, some framework of athleticism already in existence.
What's the saying?
10,000 hours.
There's that one. But what's the saying
Which
about
I believe
talent?
someone brought that up on a previous podcast.
Work always beats talent.
10,000 hours has to exist, or can be put into existence if the foundation exists. If the foundation doesn't
you can
exist,
build a foundation. Look, if someone is not smart, okay, naturally smart, what do they have to do? They have to work for it. They have to read longer. They have to do different techniques and mechanisms to become smarter. They have to put more time in it. They might not have a photographic memory like some of these geniuses have. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be Albert Einstein. Okay?
I
don't think they're going to be Oppenheimer and make a fucking atomic bomb or do the craziest, like they're not going to be Andrew Huberman as scientists, but they can get A's and B's, right? It's just incremental steps to becoming better, period.
There's a lot of people, and you're 1,000% right. There's a lot of people out there, a lot of professional athletes at what they do who are the best in their industry, they're best in their sport, that have said multiple times they were not the best at what they were doing in that given time, but their work ethic, just about what we've talked about for a significant time, it's the work they put in, both mentally, physically, their recuperation, etc., to be great at what it is, and they become a professional. We talked about Tom Brady in previous episodes. Perfect example. He is one of the best at what he did. He barely started in college.
Yep.
I think
Michael Jordan didn't even make his fucking middle school basketball team.
That one is fucking bullshit because he didn't make his team. He was like a sixth grader trying for eighth grade or a freshman trying for varsity. That one is bullshit, but fair on the Tom Brady thing.
I think you guys are harping on talent though, which is
I think it's
different.
how we're interpreting the question. Like Tom Brady, you can ask him. He is not athletic. He doesn't run fast. He doesn't throw it the furthest or whatever. But he is the greatest quarterback of all time with his skill set. But he's not gifted physically, athletically. He wasn't born with that. And I think that's where we
Johnny,
differ.
what was the definition of it again? What was the definition of athleticism? Balance and coordination?
Yeah, balance coordination.
Okay, so he's so coordinated that he can throw such a fucking great football, better than anyone else to ever fucking do it.
I think
That's
there's
a lie. He can't throw it better. Aaron Rodgers is much more gifted at throwing the football, specifically throwing it.
Yeah,
which is
again,
an
there's
athletic
levels
trait.
to the athleticism. I'm not saying he's not athletic though.
I
Tom
think
Brady
that-
is athletic, and he's taught to be
In a
athletic.
different way, he's athletic. And
Yes.
like the hand-eye
I'm not saying
coordination,
he-
reading defenses.
That
He's already athletic, yes.
He's the greatest
He's
quarterback
born an
to ever
athlete.
do it, but he's not
Agreed.
the best quarterback to ever do it.
He had a level of genetics. There's a level
Like
of
his
genetic
skills
descent
were not
that
the best.
comes down.
You just said Aaron Rodgers throws a better ball than
yeah,
him.
gifted like physically, yes.
Yeah.
There's a
Kenny?
level of genetics that comes along with
I
a
agree.
lot of this. If you do not have a specific form of genetics, you cannot teach genetics. Intelligence, okay, you're basing some things that are teachable and saying, oh, like getting smarter at something. Of course, if you invest time and education into the building a smarter person, the more resources and the more time you invest into that, you're going to get them smarter. You can't compare intelligence and like speed. Like, I mean, I think that there's a level of you have to kind of have the genetic foundation to be able to run and to be able to do certain things in order to perform. Now, can speed be enhanced? Of course it can be enhanced. But you're basing two things that are like, one has a genetic foundation, one really doesn't.
I'm sorry, but your body can be enhanced.
It can be enhanced, but you have to have a little level of genetic foundation.
Not really. You
So-
just have to have genetics, period.
So a very good example of the genetic piece, who is on the record and has said it multiple times, Ronnie Coleman. He genetically had it when he was born. He was always stronger than everyone from the beginning. But he always said the reason why he won the most Mr. Olympians, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Was because he fucking worked out harder and worked harder than anybody in the
Exactly,
gym.
which is the proof. You just said
But
he had
no,
a
no,
level
Hold
of
Kenny,
proof.
Kenny,
but
I'm
if
sorry.
he doesn't actually do that, he's nothing.
You're-
You could lift 1,000 pounds tomorrow, and if you don't fucking work your ass off, put yourself in a position to actually succeed, how are you going to be the best athlete? in the gym?
Everybody that you're pointing out is a person that had a level of genetic foundation.
We haven't
that
pointed
figured
out-
it out. They
we
figured
haven't
it out.
pointed out a single person that was
You're
gifted
pointing out Tom
athletically.
Brady, Michael
Who
Jordan,
fucking ran a
Ronnie
s-
Coleman. All these fucking people are at the top of their athletic
Because
careers.
we're using the
at
best
one
people
point.
that at some point were not considered the best athlete.
That's
who we're
exactly
using.
what You guys are focused on athletic eliteness.
You're
I'm-
focused on that. They've brought up every fucking
I have literally argued that you can take Joe Schmo and make them
Find
a
me
little
Joe
bit
Schmo.
more athletic.
Find me Joe Schmo. Go Google it. Find me Joe Schmo.
He's not going
Joe
to play in the
Schmo.
NFL. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, well,
so
you
Joe
haven't
Schmo can
found
play
that.
high school football. He can become a little bit more athletic. I can teach you to be more athletic. I can teach you to move. We can work on ladder drills. There's different methods that I can teach this man to move better, have better balance and control, and then play fucking a sport, not at the top level.
And Joe Schmo is still going to ride the bench against the kid, the 5-star recruit who didn't have
That's
to work
fine.
at it because he
There's
was already more
always-
athletic
That's
and born with
fine.
that
Always.
God-given ability.
That's fine.
Always.
But I'm still teaching him to be more athletic. Where he was here to here.
You're
He all
saying
of a
like I
sudden
can get
moves
you
better.
You're saying like I get from 0 to 1%.
It's incremental.
We're fucking saying if you have an inborn
This is my
athlete,
point.
a genetic athlete, a person that is born with the ability to perform at an athletic level, and you're taking someone who doesn't. Unfortunately, the person who has the inborn athletic genetics is going to outperform the person that you have to teach. Maybe because of speed, maybe
about
because
talent.
of faster of what?
You're talking about talent. You're not talking about athleticism.
Talent, athleticism,
the
same
same
thing.
No,
thing.
they're not.
Yes,
Same
well, that's
thing.
why we agree on this.
I
Yes,
think
they are.
I think
Talent
the
is
question is
athleticism.
so it's
It is
very
obscure
tricky. It's
and
very
vague,
tricky.
but
Talent is just another word for saying that person has the ability to do something without being taught.
you can teach
Yeah, but-
someone that doesn't move very well, doesn't have very good balance and all this stuff,
Yeah,
to
you
do
teach
these things better. And over time, they're going to get very good. And if they really put the time in, they have the potential to go places with it if they want to.
The problem is the speed of execution from the person that has the genetic foundation.
They're going to be incrementally better, yes.
Okay.
But it can be taught, is the point. They just might have it. They get it. They just pick it up and it can go because they're talented.
I think what you need to have is like this is a competitive level where we say they have made it. The person that has a genetic foundation and is born with athleticism can reach that faster and easier.
Correct.
Can you get the person with no genetic foundation and no athleticism to this point?
So,
I'll let Johnny answer.
I mean, I don't really have the right answer. But however, like, I'm going to use this for an example. Just because I've started to follow people. Ironman. People who compete in an Ironman.
Okay.
Never did it before. Right? There's people who start training, go on for 3-4 years, and are now being sent to go compete at the world level. Never swam, ran, or cycled. Or were good at one or the
Always the
other.
last
There's
one.
people that are not good at swimming, but can compete. Like, it's all hypothetical. At the end of the day, I think the question could be asked a little bit differently, but you cannot tell me you cannot become more athletic and get greater as an athlete. And there's also, like, what is the context of what we're discussing here? Are we using a football player? Are we using a cyclist?
Yeah,
Are
true.
we using a swimmer? Or, like, at the end of the day, Michael Phelps, yes, he's a freak. He's got a wingspan, like whatever.
He's
You can't-
born athlete.
That's a genetic thing, though.
He's also, his body was built for it.
Okay.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's not athleticism. That's not
athleticism.
That is an outlier, though. That's a fucking outlier. Like, that's someone who
MJ is an outlier, too.
Your body
I mean,
size
That
is
is
not
one
athleticism.
person. Dude, like,
Those
the
are
people
his-
that
he
you're
is-
bringing up.
He was born
this is
built
the
for that.
Fuck this.
This is the
Warner.
problem.
Kurt Warner had no arm left. No arm left, was bagging groceries at a fucking Publix for all we know. He becomes a Super Bowl champ.
Even Kurt Warner, bro. Like, Kurt Warner was even an athlete, like, in college, and like, he still made it to a level that a lot of people do not make it. He had a level of athleticism that led him to even be an option at an NFL level because he had a level of athleticism.
Yeah, Ryan Sleemuth doesn't blow out his knees in the NFL.
That's right, baby. That's what I'm fucking saying. I was born with it.
You're taking people that have a genetic element to their body, like they're 6'8", or their wingspan is 8 feet, and they have figured out that there's this sport or there's this event that they could. Well, you're telling me that Michael Phelps? You think Michael Phelps would have been that great at shot put?
He could have because his fucking
That's
mindset
actually a
was
good
there.
point. I was going to make that earlier.
No,
If he
he's a
walked-
better swimmer than he's a shot put.
He was a fucking born fish.
Time
person.
out. Time out. Yao Ming, 7 foot, 10?
6, but
You're
yeah.
gonna tell me he would have been better
Again,
at
you
NASCAR?
can't teach that. Again, you cannot teach height. How many fucking basketball
You
players?
can't teach height, which is exactly.
But did
our
that
point.
lead them to be great at what they're doing, though? There's so many basketball players that are fucking the tallest.
You know what made them good is because they knew where their genetic ability had leverage, right? They had leverage in height. When you're 7 feet, and he said, basketball is where I could potentially place this leverage and outperform the rest. They've matched whatever sport or whatever event. Don't give me that face. They've matched whatever sport or whatever event that's going to leverage and exploit their genetic abilities, and they were amazing at it.
So in other words, hey, for any kids,
Did he
out-
work at it?
to
Of
any
course he worked at it.
Any
Yeah,
kids
we're not
out there who
saying
have an
that.
aspiration to be great in sports or whatever you do, if you're not born genetically to be the best at whatever it is, don't even bother trying. According to these two, because again, athleticism
We did not fucking say that.
Yeah, Johnny!
We
Do
did
not listen to that bullshit.
You can
You
do
need
whatever you put
you
your
need to have
mind
a
to.
little
fucking mind.
You
to
need
it
to have a
and
little
you'll be great.
athletic ability.
What I am saying is, if
can't-
there's something that you're great at, and you realize that you're great at it, you're going to have leverage among anybody else to hit a faster track and a more thorough track to success because that is what you're great at. And if you exploit it and you use it as leverage, you're going to achieve success faster. That's it. Because he genetically or she genetically has that.
I understand you
Lean
have the
into
science
it.
side of it.
Yeah,
but
listen,
still.
Tiebreaker.
Ty, let us know, dude.
Tiebreaker. What do you got?
I'm not sure what are we arguing about?
Thank you.
Sick.
There are genetic advantages, but if we're talking about whether or not you can improve or like
Teach
athleticism, I think you definitely can.
Exactly.
But sure, you're starting off at at a higher point. Yeah, like Michael Phelps is a perfect
done.
example.
The
He's
problem with
You're
this
done,
question
Ken.
is that
Tiebreaker.
there
you
needs to be a
lost.
level.
You lost.
No.
It's
I didn't
okay.
lose.
Just hang up.
I didn't lose,
Hang
though.
it up in the rafters, dude. We're done.
I didn't lose. The question is
You've
just
reached your
fucked.
limit on this voicemail. Click. Voicemail
We're out.
full.
Let us know what you think. Thanks. Bye.